Hey guys, today I'm going to show you the sidewall pattern to this Gait torque with a mid-high pocket. So, we're going to be using a 9-diamond top string. If you don't know how to string up a 9-diamond top string, I'll leave the link of the video of me showing you how to down in the description. So let's get started. Alright, so we're going to start with the second hole in the sidewall, so this one. So you're going to want to go through that sidewall hole. You're going to want to go under the mesh, and then you want to do the same thing. Through the sidewall, under the mesh, and then pull tightly. Alright, pull tightly. And that's your first knot. Then, you want to skip a sidewall hole. So skip. And I know the torque has these weird sidewall holes where there's like two sides. There's one here and then there's one here. So there's two sidewall holes. Just go through the first one. Just go through the first one. Don't worry about the one that's inside. Don't worry about that hole. So, go through the sidewall hole. Under the mesh. And now, leave this loop so you can go through it. So through the loop. And tighten it. And that's an interlock. So we're going to do one more interlock. So skip another sidewall hole. Go under the mesh. And then through the loop. And tighten it. Alright. One more interlock. On the next sidewall hole. So through the sidewall. Under the mesh, and through the loop. Alright. Next, we're going to do a double up. So, go under the mesh, go under the mesh again, and pull the string to the side and up. And this should bunch the mesh together. Next, you want to go through the next sidewall, and without going through any mesh, just go through the loop and lock the sidewall. Next, you're going to do a 1. So you're going to go under the next mesh hole. Then you're going to go through the sidewall. And again, without going through any of the... And again, without going through any of the mesh, just go through the loop and tighten. Do the same thing again. Under the next mesh hole, to the side and up, through the next sidewall hole, and through the loop. And tighten. Next, we're going to do an interlock. So, through the sidewall, through the next sidewall, under the mesh, and through the loop. And tighten. Then, we're going to tie it off. So, go over the next mesh hole, So over the next mesh hole, and then through the inside of the head, through the inside of the head, go through the last sidewall hole. There you go. And I just noticed this gate torque is cracked. Not sure if you guys can see that. Right there. It's cracked. Wow. Alright, so if you guys didn't catch that, we went through over the next mesh hole, and then from the inside of the head, we went through the last hole in the head, and then you just want to tie that off. So you just want to tie it. Okay, it's tied. And as for bottom string, you wanna this pocket's gonna be pretty deep, especially if you're using soft mesh like I am. So you're gonna want a pretty tight bottom string. Use whichever bottom string you like, but I went with let's see if I can get this through the first hole in the bottom. I went through there. Then in the same row where I tied off the mesh, I went into the first hole, and then I went over the last hole, and then I just tied it off in the last bottom hole.